question was recently submitted to Live Deliberately, and the question is, how do you set yourself apart in an oversaturated market, such as photography? So all of a sudden, everybody's a photographer, everybody has a camera. So how do you set yourself apart and actually build a niche, build a business, build an ability, and build a skill set that's valuable in a market like that? Well, the good news is that how to do that is a relatively simple concept. The bad news is, of course, that it takes a lot of work and you're gonna have to really get to it and work at it to be able to be successful. But here's the principle. No matter what it is that you're doing, and the more saturated the market, the more this is true, you're going to be able to get market share, to be able to create value, to get paid for what you do, and to get recognized for what you do if you're better than everybody else, because people want what is best. They'll gravitate towards that. They'll pay you more for that, and they'll choose you over other people if you can do whatever it is that you do better. Now, the longer you do something, the more skill you build, the better you are at it, and the better you are, the more people, and so the easier things become. But when you're first starting out, the trick is you have to get better than everybody else. Now, you can do that by learning as fast as possible, but there's limits to how fast you can scale that. So the other thing you need to do is you need to get better at one aspect of whatever it is that you're doing that other people aren't as good at. So you need to niche down. You need to find a smaller market, a smaller piece of whatever it is that you're doing, and become really good at that thing. So let's use photography as an example. So obviously tons and tons of people take pictures and portraits, so that's a pretty oversaturated market. But can you niche down in that? Can you take portraits of specific things, or can you take portraits of specific people? Can you work in a specific medium? Can you work in film instead of digital? Or can you really focus on a certain type of photography? Maybe you can find a type of photography that nobody else does. Where I live, there's some urbanization happening and the city's moving out into the farmland. And often the city will start to envelop and surround a former farm. And I always thought it'd be really interesting to do a project where you take pictures of barns and former farms and things like that, first from an angle that shows the building, and then from an angle that shows the city coming around it. In other words, can you find a unique project, something that nobody else has done, and be able to do that better than everybody else because it's unique and it's different and people haven't seen it before? Now, this principle works in photography, but it works in anything else you do as well. So no matter how oversaturated your market is, the key is always the same. You have to be better than everybody else. And if you don't have enough skill to be better than lots of people, you need to keep looking for a smaller group, a smaller skill set, a smaller niche market, and be the best at that. And from there, build out until you can scale it and become better at more and more things, and more well-known, and more respected, and more of an expert in whatever field it is that you're in.